Today we will be working on the topic of leverage ratios. The basic meaning of leverage is grip, but if we talk in terms of finance, leverage ratio means it is a strategy of using the borrowed amount, the borrowed funds in an organization in order to increase the return on investments in the organizations. Now, in this leverage ratio, we will be learning other 5 ratios within it. So, I'll be starting firstly with proprietary ratio. Alright, proprietary ratio basically means what? A proprietor, that is the sole owner of the organization. Proprietary ratio will then mean that the funds that the owner brings within an organization, the amount of that fund in comparison to the total assets employed in the organization will mean proprietary ratio. So the formula goes like this: proprietary ratio is equals to proprietor's funds upon total assets employed into 100%. Proprietary funds will basically have shared capital, reserves and surplus, basically all the owner's funds, divided by the total assets employed. Proprietary ratio means that the owner's funds must be sufficient enough to meet the buying of the assets, the total assets that is being employed in the organization. It must be sufficient enough to fulfill and bring those assets in the organization. Now I would give some theoretically of what it is actually, and with a small example with it. Higher the ratio, stronger the financial position. Proprietary ratio में अगर कोई ओनर पैसा लाता है, जितना ज्यादा पैसा वो लाएगा उतना ही फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन उसकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ज्यादा रहेगा, क्योंकि he won't have to look funds outside the organization. So higher the amount of funds he brings in the organization, उतना उसको ज्यादा benefit रहेगा. It cannot exceed 100%. Now, obviously, in a large organization, the owner itself cannot raise all the funds. वो खुद सारी funding नहीं कर सकता, right? So he'll bring some portion of amount, and some he will make, and some he'll finance from outside the organization. But it is always to be noted that it should never exceed 100%. And even if sometimes, usually it does not happen in normal cases, but if it exceeds 100%, then that will indicate an undesirable position for the organization. Third point, also very high proprietary ratio is not desirable. As I said that proprietary ratio should be less than 100%, but it should not exceed more than 100%, which means the organization is not making the use of funding from outside the organization. That is debt funding. It should make use of these so that it can take the equity benefit also. Reasonable proportion must be maintained. The reasonable proportion between debt and equity should be maintained. Now, mostly organization prefer that they have 50% debt financing. That is, वो लोग 50% जो पैसा फाइनेंस करते हैं वो बाहर से करते हैं, and 50% from the owner. That is the proprietary fund. It should not be कि 100% वो debt financing हो या 100% equity financing, because either of them would be risky for the organization in terms of taxation, in terms of interest, etc. Now, this is an example. Like, see, the paid up share capital of the firm is 2 lakh. The reserves and surplus is 50,000, and the net worth of the assets of an organization is 4 lakh. Now, putting these amounts exactly in the formula of proprietary ratio, that is share capital plus reserves and surplus, that would amount to 2,50,000 divided by total assets employed, that is 4 lakh, it would amount to 62.5%. Now, students, you can see that 62.5% is a normal ratio, and it is a satisfactory proprietary Coming back to debt equity ratio, which is the second ratio that we will be learning. Debt equity ratio. Debt is what? The amount of financing that an organization does. એક ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન જે પૈસા એ બહારથી લઈ આવે એની ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનમાં ફંડિંગ કરવા માટે તેને ડેટ કહેવાશે, રાઈટ? ઇક્વિટી ઇઝ વી નો कि that is the shareholders fund, the owners fund, right? Now the ratio of debt equity will be long term liabilities upon shareholders funds into 100%. Now higher the ratio, creditors will have more claim over it. Debt is what कि as I said कि जो organization पैसा बाहर से funding करता है, पैसा बाहर से लाता है, that is debt. Now if ज्यादा पैसा अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बाहर से लेगा, दैट इज फ्रॉम क्रेडिटर्स, फ्रॉम लेंडर्स, फ्रॉम बैंक, the more will be the interest that they will have to pay to creditors and lenders. Lower the ratio, benefit of equity is not available. Now debt equity ratio is such कि वो कम भी नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर वो कम रहा, like less than 50%, right? तो it will not give us the benefit of equity. अगर हम that is कि हम जो ओनर्स के फंड्स रहते हैं उस पे जो हमको डिविडेंड बेनिफिट मिलता है वो कम मिलेगा अगर हम बाहर से पैसा ज्यादा बोरो करेंगे. सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसमें अगर ओनर का पैसा 70% रहा तो उस पे ओनर को उस पे डिविडेंड मिलेगा, उस 70% जो फंड उसने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में खुद लगाए हैं, राइट? सो 70% का जो फंडिंग रहा उस पे उसको डिविडेंड मिलेगा. बट इफ द ओनर 70% के बजाय इफ ही जस्ट गिव्स 30% फंडिंग टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सिर्फ 30% विल बी द प्रोप्राइटर्स फंड्स इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, then he will not get that much dividend. That is what it will not get the benefit of equity. So lower the ratio, lower the benefit of equity will be available. Now higher the debt equity ratio, strict the conditions will the organization bear it. Strict conditions like continuous interference of the lenders in the organization, वो लोग हमारे decisions में interrupt करेंगे क्योंकि they will have more amount of, because हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में उन लोगों का पैसा ज्यादा रहेगा तो but obvious हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन should go as the outsiders same. So always debt equity ratio में the debt and equity should be maintained properly. It should not be 100% at all. Also कि ये अगर 50-50 रहे ना तो वो ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा. Now I've explained this with an example. Debentures 1 lakh, 5-year long-term bank loan is 40,000, shareholders fund is 2,50,000. Keeping this thing in the formula, that is long-term liabilities. Now debentures are what? We need long-term liabilities of an organization, right? हमने debentures raise किए हैं, we have borrowed money and issued debentures in the market. Long-term 5-year है, so it is obviously a long-term loan. That is for 40,000. So total long-term liabilities we have is 1,40,000 divided by shareholders fund, that is 2,50,000 will amount to 56,000. Correct? Now this amount of 50 will amount to 56%. Sorry. Now this amount of 56% is nominal. It is neither more than 50 nor less than 50. If it would be more than 50, like more than 60, then it would be riskier. As I said, high ratio is not preferable, and it would be less than 50, then also it is not desirable. Secondly, we have another method of calculating the debt and equity ratio. In the previous one we learned that there are only long-term liabilities. लेकिन another method, how can we ignore the short-term liabilities, the short-term creditors एक organization में जो रहते हैं जिसका ज्यादा pressure रहता है कि भाई हमारे पैसे दो हमें. So they will first demand कि जो short-term creditors, जो short-term liabilities हैं, right? So they will short-term debts also. So they will demand कि अगर तुम लोग it will demand the organization कि अगर आप हमारा पैसे हमें टाइम पर नहीं दोगे, देन वी विल चार्ज यू इंटरेस्ट which is to be paid to the short term creditors, right? And mostly organizations के पास short term debts ज्यादा रहता है because they are easy to finance, but the disadvantage of it is they charge interest which is too higher. और ऐसे कर करके जो छोटे छोटे जितने भी ज्यादा शॉर्ट टर्म डेट्स है उसको सब गिन के becomes a huge cost to it. Now I've written an example considering the short term debts in the organization. Now, and as I said कि छोटे छोटे करके बहुत ज्यादा शॉर्ट टर्म डेट्स हो जाते हैं, then the debt equity ratio will give rise to the ratio of it. Example is as in the previous example itself. I've just added short term creditors over here amounting to 60,000. So again, debentures 1 lakh, 5-year bank loan 40,000, short term creditors is 60,000, owners fund is 2,50,000. Putting this into the debt equity ratio formula, then we would get the debt equity ratio as 80,000. So as I said, the more amount of short term debt or the more amount of debt, it would give rise in the debt equity. Coming up with the third ratio, that is capital gearing ratio. Now students, gearing is what? We usually have that in a motorcycle, right? Gears से क्या होता है? It increases the speed. Similarly, talking in terms of finance, capital gearing ratio. Gearing is increasing the amount of finance structure in an organization. एक organization के अंदर कैसे पैसा जल्दी हम इंक्रीज कर सके, उसको हम बोलेंगे कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशियो. हाउ टू कैलकुलेट इट? इट इज प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल प्लस डिबेंचर अपॉन इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल इनटू 100. Now, see, preference share capital and debentures are usually raised outside the organizations, and we already know that equity shareholders are basically the owner's fund, right? So, how much of external funding that we do in order to gear the fund in an organization? हम preference share वालों से और debenture से कितना पैसा ले और उनसे जितना पैसा ले सके उससे हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर में कितनी अमाउंट से पैसा बढ़ा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशियो. इन नॉर्मल लैंग्वेज इट कैन बी सेड दैट इट इज फिक्स्ड डिविडेंड एंड इंटरेस्ट बेयरिंग कैपिटल टू ऑर्डिनरी कैपिटल. नाउ इफ दे आर डिबेंचर्स, हम डिबेंचर होल्डर्स को इंटरेस्ट देंगे, राइट? जितने लोगों से हमने डिबेंचर इश्यू किया है तो फिर हमको उनको इंटरेस्ट देंगे. जो प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स होंगे उसको डिविडेंड देना पड़ेगा, राइट? इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स वो ऑर्डिनरी कैपिटल, ओनर्स कैपिटल रहता है. सो इन अ नॉर्मल लैंग्वेज वी कैन से दैट द चार्ज ऑफ फिक्स्ड डिविडेंड एंड इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द कैपिटल इज टू द नॉर्मल इक्विटी कैपिटल. हायर द रेशियो, कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर इज गियर्ड. हम जितना ज्यादा अमाउंट लेंगे प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स और डिबेंचर होल्डर्स से, उतना ज्यादा हमारा कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशियो बढ़ेगा. ऑल्सो वन मोर थिंग मस्ट बी नोटेड दैट मोर प्रॉफिट इज एब्सॉर्ब बाय डिबेंचर इंटरेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड. जितना प्रॉफिट अगर हम जितना प्रेफरेंस शेयर इश्यू करेंगे और डिबेंचर्स इश्यू करेंगे, राइट, तो उतना ज्यादा हमारा प्रॉफिट हमको उन लोगों को देना पड़ेगा. लाइक सी, मैंने यहाँ पे एग्जांपल दिया है दैट हमने 1 लाख डिबेंचर्स इश्यू किए. प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड, प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल इज 1 लाख एंड जो ओनर्स इक्विटी है दैट इज अमाउंटिंग टू 5 लाख. सो ऑल टूगेदर हमारे पास जो आउटसाइड का कैपिटल है दैट इज जस्ट 2 लाख और ओनर का इक्विटी क्या है, ज्यादा है, 5 लाख, राइट? So we will get the gearing ratio as 40%. But we need to keep in our mind that हमेशा ये जो अमाउंट हो वो कम हो. अगर ये ज्यादा रहा then more part of the profit will be absorbed by whom? Preference shareholders and debentures. Preference shareholders will claim the dividend and debenture holders will claim for interest. the fourth ratio, that is long term funds to fixed assets. उसका फॉर्मूला है फिक्स्ड कैपिटल टू फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, राइट. लॉन्ग टर्म फंड्स आर व्हाट, जो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो बाहर से पैसा बोरो करे, बाहर से फाइनेंसिंग करे ऑन लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस, राइट, टू द फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, दैट इज हमारे पास फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, दैट इज जो लंबे समय तक चलेगी, नॉट शॉर्ट टर्म एसेट्स. बिगर टर्म चले वैसी एसेट्स कितनी है, उसकी कंपैरिजन में क्या रेशियो है, दैट इज लॉन्ग टर्म फंड्स टू फिक्स्ड एसेट्स रेशियो. Now, as I said, the formula is fixed capital divided by total fixed assets, right? See, now fixed asset is purchased from fixed capital. हमारे पास जितना fixed capital रहेगा, that is fixed capital will include everything, the paid up share capital, reserves, equity, everything, right? तो वो जो कैपिटल रहेगा एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पास, वो कैपिटल से हम क्या परचेस करेंगे, फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, not current assets, fixed assets, that is for example plant and machinery which will last for years, right? So हमारे पास जितना ज्यादा फिक्स्ड कैपिटल रहेगा, हम उतना ज्यादा फिक्स्ड एसेट्स परचेस कर सकेंगे. It is to be said that this ratio should be 1:1 or more, but if it is less than 1, that is 0.9 or more less than that, that would mean that short term funds have been used for purchasing the fixed assets. Obviously कि अगर ये गिरेगा, right, we will be having less short term capital and we need to purchase more amount of fixed capital, right? So what we'll do, हमारे पास fixed capital रहेगा नहीं, and how will one know कि अगर ये जो रेशियो है वो 1:1 की जगह 0.9 या उससे भी ज्यादा कम रहे, then it is to be understood that short term capital is used to purchase fixed assets for the organization. Simple example, share capital है हमारे पास 2,50,000, reserves and surplus is 40,000, debentures is 60,000. This three altogether amount as what, fixed capital of the organization, right? Fixed assets हमको buy करने हैं amounting to 2 lakh. Now putting these figures in the formula of fixed capital, then it would amount to 3,50,000 divided by 2 lakh, and we would get the ratio of 1:74, which is 75, which is satisfactory ratio. As I said, it should be 1:1 or more, so that fixed capital is used for purchasing fixed assets. If it is less than 1:1, that is 0.9 or more less than that is to 1, तो हमको समझ जाना चाहिए कि short term capital is used to purchase bigger assets in the organization. Coming to the fifth and last topic, that is coverage ratio, which will consist of two things, that is interest coverage ratio and total coverage ratio. Coverage ratio basically means what? It is that whether the organization is financially sound to meet the long-term liabilities, long-term debts, the principal amounts of the long-term loans. यानी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पास उतना पैसा है कि वो जो लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज है, लॉन्ग टर्म डेट्स है, लॉन्ग टर्म बैंक लोन्स है, वो सब पे ऑफ कर सके या नहीं. The formula of interest coverage ratio is profit before interest and taxes divided by interest. One must, the organization must know that whether is it having sufficient profit, उसके पास उतना profit रहना चाहिए so that he can pay the debenture holders with their interest along with the preference shareholders and their dividends. Now, debt service capacity of firm is in respect of fixed interest on long-term debt. Interest coverage ratio is what? कि the debt services, अभी debt में क्या आएगा कि debentures आएगा, preference shareholders आएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि these are the amount that an organization is borrowing from outside the organizations, right? So this interest coverage ratio says that it is a debt service capacity of the firm in comparison to meet the fixed interest of long-term debt. हमारे पास उतना फंड्स रहना चाहिए टू मीट द आउटसाइडर्स liabilities along with their interest and dividend. It is also known as times interest earned ratio. And as I said, higher the profit, least use of outside debt is made. अगर प्रॉफिट ज्यादा रहा, लाइक सपोज हमारा रेशियो जब हमने कैलकुलेट किया इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो, अगर वो ज्यादा रहा, then it is to be assumed that there is least use of outside debt is made. And if the lower profit is left to pay off the interest and taxes, then we can understand that least use of outside debt is made. For example, earnings before interest and taxes हमारे पास है 1,25,000. Interest is 15,000. Now, putting these figures in the formula directly, we would get 8.3 times, which is too much, and it is favorable. So we should one must know that a satisfactory interest coverage ratio must be much more, so that enough profit है हमारे पास to pay off the outside liabilities along with their interest and dividend. The final part, that is total coverage ratio. Before this we saw interest coverage ratio of the firm, which only includes that हमारे पास उतना profit sufficient है to meet the interest and dividend before taxes. We have enough profit to pay them the interest amount and the taxes amount. But over here in total coverage ratio, it also includes the total amount, that is not just interest and dividend but also the installment amount, the real principal amount, that is the firm having sufficient profit enough to meet the installment, which is a bigger amount also. Now, the strength of a firm, total coverage ratio is basically the strength of a firm to meet its fixed charge liability, that is of interest, dividend and the principal repayment of installment. In the earlier coverage ratio, we just learned that is the firm having sufficient profit to meet the interest and dividend. But here, the total coverage, that is, it also includes the principal repayment of installment amount also. Now, in this example, I've given that, see, earnings before interest and taxes, that is EBITs amounting to 50 lakh. We have interest 1 lakh. Installment amount is 30 lakh and dividend is 2 lakh. And putting these figures in the direct formula, right? Then we get 1.5 times, which is a favorable total coverage ratio. As I said, it should be 1:1 or more than that, so that it indicates that the firm is having sufficient profits. एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन પાસે એટલા ફંડ્સ છે જેમથી એ બહારના જે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ પે કરવાના છે along with their principal amount, કોઈ લોન હોય એની ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ જોડે, it is easy to pay for them.